4440981, while the call line is 0201 448 9981. So every Friday, I always have the pleasure of having your presence and the presence of my analysts. So please make welcome one of them, one of the powerful duo, this time I'm not going to call him the film Efiko because each time I see it on his shirt, it gives the film Efiko vibes. But please welcome with me movie critic, writer, lover of all things good and movies, the one and the only Oris. Good morning.
Good morning, Sean. Thank you very much. And good morning to our listeners, wherever they may be at this moment, hopefully not committing crime. Good morning, everyone.
Smooth listeners are good people. So
we hope so. Remember, just a few weeks ago, we had a smooth listener who had a whip in his vehicle and told us we would not understand.
So that's for protection.
You said?
That's for protection. That's for him,
here we go on the road with a whip for protection. Okay.
He said he's
should be a movie character one of these days. Somebody should make a film about his peculiarities.
Saint Fadri, if you're listening, well, just got called out by Oris. Okay, so aside getting to say one or two things here, part of the things we get down to is giving you updates about what's happening, what you should watch. We review movies and give our takes, and then your take as well as your comment are welcome on the WhatsApp line. Aside that, we also give you updates on what's happening in the movie industry as well as awards and who is receiving what in what way or who is parting with their money to go to the cinemas. In other words, the box office numbers. Then we also tell you what to expect in terms of the trailers. So sometimes we judge the movies by their trailers and the casting there. And then we also tell you what to look forward to later in the year, next year, and much more. So that said, let's get this party started. Oris, what have you been watching?
That's a funny, I know. Okay. Well, that's the routine question on this show, actually.
Of course.
But I always have to try to remember because there's just a lot that is going to, okay, so I think the very last thing I saw is something nobody else would, once again, something nobody else would see.
Here we go with the brag.
Yes. You will survive, Shion, and so would our listeners. Let's see. So I was recently writing something about the Busan Film Festival. And there is a particular film from Korea, actually, a first-time filmmaker. I think she's an actress who's done a film called A Girl with Closed Eyes. It's kind of like a thriller. Anyway, so I saw that just last night. But yes, that's out of the way. What else did I see? I saw, yes, the almighty film from Lateef Adedimeji and what's his name? Ani Akimolayo, Lisa B. The Uprising, the first part of a proposed 2-part film on the Red app. What else have I seen? Yes, I was seeing this thing. I'm not through with it yet. The Perfect Couple, which is a show featuring Nicole Kidman and the rock star's daughter. What's his name? Bono. Eve Houston on the Red app. On the Blue app, what did I see? Nothing actually. So I think roughly I think this is probably it. I'm sure I'm forgetting one or two other projects, but maybe as the show goes on, I would remember.
Okay, then. So in case you want to tell us what you have been seeing, you can send your WhatsApp messages to 0809 444 0981. Again, 0809 444 0981. Well, Nigerians have been seeing Queen Latifah, a movie that was directed by Adeoluwa and produced by Wumi Toriola. And it was said that in the opening weekend, it got about 58 million naira. And it became the highest Nollywood opening weekend for a non-holiday period, and also the highest Nollywood weekend by an independent distributor in 2024. And I saw the trailer. I didn't think it was going to do that kind of number.
But right now the Yoruba epics are really, really in vogue. I think a lot of the Yoruba filmmakers from Yoruba, what they've managed to do is they brought their audience from all of those places, I guess, from DVDs, from YouTube, They brought all of them to, well, maybe not all of them, but a lot of them to the cinemas and also to the streaming platforms. And that's why we have these kind of numbers. I'm not entirely sure that is heavily indicative of the quality of the project. I don't know that I haven't seen it. But I mean, historically speaking, it's not the case that numbers means that this is like a great project. It probably just means that the person has been able to figure out a marketing plan that works, and he or she might have like a decent amount of fans, I guess. Oh, yes. And I remember, by the way, something I saw that was, in my own view, excellent, not Nigerian, sadly. Baby Reindeer, the one about
Oh
the
yeah,
lady.
you've been going on about it.
Okay. I mentioned it last week, but I didn't finish it, right? I just finished it over maybe
Yeah.
3 days ago, and it's just fantastic. Fantastic. I
Mhm.
mean, it's so well written, so well acted. Yeah, so there is that. And I'm just happy to say, you know what, I have an excellent recommendation for anybody who hasn't seen it.
Mm. Well, still about the box office here in Nigeria, the second highest Nollywood opening weekend for an 18 rated film in 2024, and the fourth highest Nollywood opening weekend in 2024 happens to be Farmer's Bride. It got 37.1 million naira in its opening weekend. I think you said you were going to see it. Did you eventually do see it?
Um, Sadly, the answer is no, but I will. I will. There's nowhere because actually, it looks like of all of the movies that have come out recently that have advertised their numbers, this strikes me. I mean, from just Twitter and Review and every other place, and some of the reviews I've read, it strikes me as the best of the bunch, actually. So I definitely have to see that at the cinemas. It has
Hmm.
gotten really, really good reviews. Yeah, so I'm really, really looking forward
You
to
should
seeing
check
it.
it out.
Oh,
Oh,
you've
you've
seen
seen it?
it?
Oh yeah. Movie of the year contender, along with Ajoshipo.
Okay.
Interesting. Well, you already heard
Yeah.
his voice then, in case you're new to the Smooth FM and the Film Focus family. That is the second half of the powerful duo that you listen to every Friday. And that is entertainment stakeholder as well as movie critic and analyst, Irabor Okosun. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Show up now.
I am good. Welcome. So now that you already
Yeah.
got into the mix, what have you been watching?
Oh, yes. There's this TV series on the Red Pill. It's called Nobody Wants This. Now,
I
I'm
mentioned
a
it.
sucker for. Have you seen it?
I mentioned it weeks ago that I had like a preview of it.
Yeah, lovely. I mean, I'm a sucker for dialogue, like dialogue. You know, when you see two characters embody their roles and the dialogue is just so great. My goodness, I'm 3 episodes in, I'm already sold. Even if they, do nonsense
No, don't
subsequently.
worry, they don't. They don't, by the way, they don't.
Uh,
It's
uh, uh,
excellent.
Even if they do, no wahala. But those 3 episodes I watched is enough. Like the greatness is enough. It's just like saying, there was a point when Akon was just, releasing nonsense. But the one he had already done before was enough. So I get it. So that series, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. And if you look at it, I don't think they spent too much money. That's the funny thing. I'm sure they didn't spend too much money in the sense of Hollywood, if you get what I mean. Simple
No,
characters, they
you're
are not
correct.
even
Yeah.
stars. I mean, like the location, everything's just on point. Like simple story, nice dialogue. No. Shout out to Erin Foster and whoever is part of the show. That's what I was watching. Then I saw Lisabi at the end of the day. Okay, how do I say this now? It's not bad, but there's something I feel these epic movies, in fact, Nollywood in general, where they just
Hold on,
waste
hold
a lot
on.
of.
Are you going into Lisabi already?
Yeah, I've left. Nobody wants this.
Okay,
Nobody
so
wants me to spoil it now. With so
we're going to definitely talk about Lisa B. I think it's something that is hot on everybody's tongue and the lips right now. So
yeah.
that's going to be the first movie review for this morning. But before then, let me just update Nigerians and the world on what people have been watching on the Red and the Blue app. Or maybe I should quickly take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good afternoon. Good morning.
Please turn down the volume of your radio set.
This is Johnson calling from Tulare.
All right, thank you for calling. What you have to say?
Please, what is the topic of the question? I'm just joining.
Okay, welcome. So it's about movies, series, animations, and All right, Johnson, if you're listening, the show is about movies, it's about series, it's about animation, it's about movie updates generally in or updates in movie industries across the world. Nollywood, we're very big and heavy on that. Hollywood and every other wood. Still, so keep listening, Johnson, and thank you. All right, so that said, let's get to the top 10 movies on the red app, and then we will go to that of the blue app. Coming in at number 10, I'm surprised that Nigerians are still watching this. And before I go on, like Oris, Irabor, and I have mentioned in times past, this does not necessarily mean it's the top 10 best movies in Nigeria. Sometimes it's just as a result of curiosity, or sometimes because these movies have been newly added to this platform and people just want to check them out. So that's why we have this top 10 movies in Nigeria. Now, number 10 is Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves. And number 9 is a movie that piqued my interest as a result of the storyline. I mentioned it last week. I decided to check it out. Let's just say I'm 15 or 20 minutes into it. I don't know if I'll go back to it. It's Uglies. And it's a movie about alteration based on humans and their nature. So it's interesting, but I think it's for a younger audience. So people have to make alterations to their body because the human race destroyed the
Are you that
world.
old? Are you that old? I mean,
my dear, I think I am. I mean, this is the kind of movie I would have enjoyed in high school, but at this moment, it's just something I would maybe watch if I am eating or I just want
high
to
school, I mean
while away
secondary
time.
school. Which one? Did you school abroad?
High school, secondary school, potato,
Give me to have
potato.
back to back, Irabor. I'm on your side.
Then number
As in, I'm
8
ready.
is
I'm
A
serving
True
an
Gentleman.
akara.
And number 9 is something from India. This one is titled Ulaj. While number 6 is Hitman, Agent 47. And number 5 is Hitman. Then number 4 is something straight out of Thailand. And this one is titled Bangkok Breaking, Heaven and Hell. I think we're having a little bit of interference from you, Oris.
Oris? Oris is innocent of everything.
Okay, I thought I heard something in the background that sounded like music or movies or something. All right, we'll come back to the list. Top 3 is something again out of India. And this is interesting because it's somehow superhero-ish, where you have an ordinary insurance agent that decides to be normal during the day and become a vigilante at night. While number 2 is interesting, it's Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, all the way from 2016. I don't know if you ever heard of that. Oris?
I did. I never saw it, but I heard of it, yes.
Yeah, so it's I think it was recently added to the Red app, hence the curiosity and why people are watching it. And number 1 is unsurprising. That is Lishabi or Lishabi the Uprising. That's number 1 top 10 movie in Nigeria for this morning. Now, if we move over to the Blue app, not the changes. I don't think it changed much in the last week, but anyways, I'll go over it again. Number 10 is Float, and number 9 is Challengers. Did you get to watch that at the Zendaya movie?
Also good, yes. When I mentioned the Blue app earlier, this is what I wanted to watch. I haven't finished it, but yes, I have begun it. I have started.
How's it looking for you?
How's it looking? Well, I kind of like Zendaya and I like the director of this film. I don't know where they are going, or actually I know where they are going, but let me not say anything yet. Fingers crossed.
All right, then. Number 8 is No Gain, No Love, while number 7 is Blackmail. Then number 6 is an Amazon original, and that is Legend of Vox Machina, or Machina, I think. While number 5 is Hounds of War. If you look at number 3, or number 4 rather, it's Killer Hits. Number 3 is Muri and Co. Number 2 is Atunwe. Why number 1? Again, unsurprising, it's been on the list, top 1. Number 1 for a bit, and that's Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. So let us know what you have been watching and if you have been enjoying it or not, if you are going to recommend it or not. On WhatsApp, Dan from Lekki says, Irabor, thanks for the movies and series recommendation last Saturday. From that station, we sabi blow big drama. Which of you has been blowing big drama? Maybe Oris.
I need to respect me. God, there. I won't say anything.
Oris, clap back, clap back.
No. Theo knows that I'll get her back at some point, so we'll leave her now.
Film Focus, Chidozie says, good morning, Mr. 100 and Mr. Oris. In case you guys haven't noticed, if it's not animation, Auntie Shenwe isn't interested. That's not true. All right, so let's get started with the movie review. So, Lisha B, who's watched it and what is your take?
Irabor can go first.
Yes, Irabor, let's have you.
Oris, go first, though.
No, Irabor, are you? I don't agree.
Gentlemen, you guys are doing ladies first.
Go first, okay. Because I'm driving. I want to settle and talk my talk.
All right.
Okay, I don't think that is fair, but yeah, let me say. I've seen it, sadly, because I'm not too impressed. I'm not too impressed, frankly. In fact, I'm not even impressed. Let me not say too impressed. It's not a thing about too or not. You know, for a film that I think sounds to me like a Netflix original, it is a really poor picture as against what I assume the budget is. The acting isn't terrible, but a lot of what it's depending on, I guess, to get some kind of attention, the action, the visual effects are piss poor. Very, very, very poor. There's a scene towards the end where somebody is beheaded, and it's just terribly, terribly, terribly done. And I'm thinking to myself, this is a film on a globally available app. And if you just leave Lishabi and you turn somewhere else, you can see a much better film from a different culture. How is it that Nollywood is producing something of this nature with the let me not say the name, with the Red App's approval? I mean, direct approval, because like I said, I think it's an original or something close, you know? And yeah, this is the level of visual effects we are getting. It's just a shame, really, frankly. And as concerning the story itself, of course, it's based on a supposedly true life story, like a folk story from.
No, it's true. It's based on a true story.
Yeah, I know. But when I say things like this, what I mean is that because we do not have a particularly well-developed writing culture, it's difficult to say that this and this and this and this and this happened. It's not like, I don't know, the Greeks, for instance. So anyway, so it's based on the true story of the hero of Egbaland. I get that. But I'm sure that there are things that they've included here that are not, I guess, in the original tale. And there are things maybe they're sticking to it a little bit too faithfully. Because to my mind, I think the entire film, if you take all of the scenes together, it's probably no more than 10 or even less. You know, there's just an unfortunate elongating of each scene. Look at the beginning. Look at the opening scene where somebody is supposed to be condemned. Just like, what is this? 15 minutes of what exactly is happening? You know, and this repeats itself over and over and over and over and over again. And I'm thinking to myself, this entire film is about an hour 30 minutes or so. That thing could have been 45 minutes. You know. But I guess just so that we can have a two-part, because of course Netflix are committed to a two-part series with these guys, we have this unnecessarily long stuff. Towards the end, I mean, I was just really, really angry. Towards the end, where there's the bit about they're supposed to be invoking certain spirits. Did you see how bad the visual effects for that particular scene were? Where there's like an hole somewhere, like a certain beast and stuff. I'm just like, what is this nonsense? You know, and then we have the storyline of where it looks like Lisha B is in one corner of the world, that's played by Lady Meji, and something's happening somewhere else. And they try to bring them together by using, what's his name, Mr. Macaroni's character, Oshokeni. And every time that happened, it was just clear that, you know what, they're trying to figure out a way to bring Lisha B into the tale so that he can finally confront the Oyo Empire. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. What exactly is happening here? Oshokenu is supposed to be this lazy character, then manages to kill like 10 people before he's just anyway, whatever the case is, let's just say that I was really, really, really unhappy with this stuff, mostly because I think that they had a decent budget, you know, to do something way better than we've seen. But it looks to me like whenever you have Nia Kimolayo writing the script, I feel like there is just something always missing. in those particular instances. So I think Nee is a decent person when it comes to technical stuff. Even so, I'm not really sure in this case, but let's just say, you know what, it's different when it comes to technical stuff. But when it comes to like the writing and the narration and the screenplay, there's a lot that is left to be desired. And yeah, Alicia B just really, really disappointed me. I'm hoping that, of course, when the second part shows up in January, it maybe moves the needle towards something better, maybe like to a 6 or a 5, you know. But right now in my head, Alicia B is like a 4.5 or a 4 right now.
Irabor, what's your take?
Yeah, to me, I feel this Abi right now is a 3, in my own opinion. I think it's a 3. I mean, Oris, you even did your best to be very, very kind.
Okay.
Yeah, back in the studio. So, as I was saying.
Yeah, you'd have to exit. All right, let's go.
I like the fact that we got to that point where we can decide to condition, something for us.
But the thing is, I think I'm done with mediocrity. I'm no longer going to be very kind with reviews now because I feel,
thank you, Irabor. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, because first of all, let's even go to that scene you mentioned, the one towards the end. Was that the only option? Did they force them to use that technique to kill that guy?
I do not know. I do not. These are the problems.
So I'm sure, like they say, there's several ways to skin a cat, Abi. Shit. There are several ways to kill a cow, kill goat. You can decide to kill it, behead it, use hot water, peel off the skin, or you can roast it. You know. So did you decide to just say, okay, that's what you wanted to use? Couldn't you have just done normal one-on-one combat and all this talk of incantations before you fight somebody? After all the preparation, that's why all these Agberos at the bus stop, they first of all talk before they even fight. So maybe that's where that thing comes from, you know. But now, if you're looking at, I was checking the time when it was getting to 55, 1 hour plus. I remember I was like, when is actor going to kill Bose? And I went online and I said, oh, okay, they're doing 2 parts. So we're going to get another one in January. That one just even decimated my whole, you know, aura at that time when I was watching. And I said, okay, so we're going to wait for another part again. So is it the fight scene we're looking forward to? Or is it going to, like, the storytelling, the pacing, the implementation, everything was just awful. Now, yes, so don't get me wrong. The scene between Adejimeji and Oshokenu, you know, was very, very emotional. It was heartfelt. I think I even teared up a little bit. But yeah, it was nice. You know, friendship is a beautiful thing when you have the right people, you know, in your corner. But my point is, aside that one, the cinematography in the beginning where that guy was coming out of blood and 2 women were in the bathtub, like coming to America, coming from America. What is the name of that movie?
That was the opening scene, no problem. Right?
They are good. But now the thing is, you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting, trying to understand how this story is going. How did Adedimeji all of a sudden just become this Shabi that had command of 4 or 5 different gods? Then he started introducing people all of a sudden, like, I thought it was a farmer that was carrying whole up and down. Then, you know, Oshokanu is dying. Then all of a sudden, we don't even know what's going on. There was just this long scene, different talk. This one, I'm just like, what are we doing here? And it's Netflix. Like, it's, sorry, Red Pill. Like, what are we doing? Is there nobody in the meeting that is calling up people like, man, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think this thing that we're doing is making sense. So, like, what's going on? Is that they just want to just give us to just be eating, just like the way they will increase fuel, nobody will talk, we'll just be doing anyhow. It's Nigeria, and I don't worry, give them some standard this thing, they will not say anything. What is wrong? Like, in fact, me saying 3/10 is just because of that scene between Adedimeji and Mr. Macaroni. Aside that one, nonsense.
Wow, I actually literally had to take back my microphone from Irabor. Yeah. If you're joining us for the first time, you are listening to Film Focus on Smooth 98.1. And right now, the part of the show you have just met is the review of Lishabi, The Uprising, and that's a movie that was recently added to the Red app. So have you watched it? Have you seen it? Do you agree with Oris and Irabor? Oris gives it a 4.5. Irabor gives it a 3. Okay. And yeah, WhatsApp line to contribute or to say hello to us or just whatever it is on your mind is 0809 444 0981. Again, 0809 4440981, while the call line is 0201 448 9981. Again, 0201 448 9981. On WhatsApp, Wilson says, "Good morning, Madam Oluwaseun. Greetings to Mr. Oris and Mr. Irabor." So I started watching. What do you mean censorship? Oh, I thought you were done. Okay, we're done. I thought you were done. It's okay. Do you still have anything to get off your chest?
Everybody's looking forward to how long kind of the same movies that are so substandard. Like, oh, this shall be promoting it.
Is Irabor speaking? Nobody can hear him, by the way.
No, you're the one that can't see something with Zoom, but it's okay.
Yeah, no, I'm just angry about the whole thing. It's not as if we don't have the right hands. So I think it's not a case of certain people need to just stick to what they are great at. So if you're a producer, just produce. Don't write. If you're a director, direct. If you're a screenwriter, write. Don't wear too many hats. We need proper, accountability and implementation strategies for these people. They need to start consulting people before they just go and just do films and just make it a blockbuster. Everybody's wearing a red that is the same color, or they're doing cinematography it's annoying, especially when you have the budget. Work according to your budget. Don't start doing things that are out of place because what? Kill the guy normally, or let us know that this one is this one. Don't be doing it. This thing is annoying. Like when I was just watching, I was just like, why are we doing like this? It irritated me. Gone. Sorry, I was really looking forward to this thing being a very solid selection for us to see and put forward and say, okay, this is a great movie from Nollywood. But come on, now it's 2024. We need to wake up and stop all these things. Now, if you talk now, people now be like, yeah, hating or whatever.
I'm sure that as we speak right now, people are saying exactly what you just said, which is that that we are hitting, or we are hitting them on Smooth FM. But the fact of the matter is that Lishabi is an awful product for what we assume that budget is. That is just, I don't think anybody should hide that. It's just the fact that it's a terrible project for what we assume that budget is. I saw a photo of Adedimeji and his wife at the Netherlands headquarters of the African section of Netflix. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, so you guys even got into this particular room, with these guys, and this is what you produce. So in a way, I also blame the guys, over there in Netherlands, because I'm like, don't you people give them notes? How could they have brought to you this terrible, terrible, terrible thing? And you still, I don't know, you didn't say anything about it, because I do not believe that any sort of filmmaker with Nia Kimolayan's profile in our industry here in the US or in Europe, they would allow them to make something of that quality of visual effects of writing. I don't believe that that's possible. But I think what's happening here is that there is a fault from the app, from the filmmakers themselves, and also from the audience. Because, frankly, maybe what they've noticed is that no matter what quality we present on the Netflix, Shion, on the Nigerian section of this particular app, the audience laps it up, and so we are in a spot where we do not need to do much better than that anyway, because if we're giving them notes, but they're telling us that, but the audience, they are watching it. What exactly do we say in defense of that? Yeah. Because honestly, I was like, wait, nobody in Europe with this kind of profile of this director or in the US will make something like this. Not somebody saying, you know what, bros, can you take a look at why this person is getting killed by a sequel, and you have the head composed almost 2 seconds later? How is that even reasonable? There's no blood dripping anywhere. The entire thing looks like it was on a badly done green screen. Anyway, that's
why I'm sure. Look, what will solve this thing is them having a comment. I'm sure they wouldn't even do it. They dare not put a comment section on Netflix. Now they have likes. Let them. No. They
dare not, because it's just no voice. It's poor. It's really poor. Sorry, Sean.
Okay. This is, we can go on and on for the next 1 hour, but unfortunately, we need to move to other things. So I am getting calls on WhatsApp. Unfortunately, again, I cannot take calls on WhatsApp, but I can take calls on the landline. So that will be 0201 0201-448-9981. Again, 0201-448-9981. I can take calls on that line. Now, if you'd like to send in your messages, your agreement or disagreement with anything that has been said, then the WhatsApp line is 0809-444-0981. Let's go with the calls. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Good morning. Please turn down the volume of your radio set. Have you done that?
Yes.
Please go ahead. What's your name and location?
My name is Lanway. I'm calling from Banana.
All right, please go ahead.
Lisa B was an awful disappointment. You see, I do epic, Jagu, Woman King. I mean, those are classics for me. I even watched them several times. I've tried to watch Lisa B 5 times and I've stopped out of irritation. I don't know. It was just off. I don't know where they got it wrong. I'm just a sympathizer. I just enjoy good movies, but I know a movie that is not good. I don't know how it got to Netflix. Yeah, there was a lot of, there was so much energy, but the direction was not there. The skill was not, in fact, 5 times. I will try again. Maybe there's something wrong. I was just like, oh my God, how did this get here? Because I watched it 3 times on my own, and it was like, wow. So I don't know. They need to look into it. Yes, they overdid some things were not just necessary. And then talking about, people are watching it. Yeah. So on the analytics, if you see that somebody has watched, like me, that has tried to watch it 5 times, it will go that, hey, somebody in this household has watched it 5 times. But no.
Good point.
Just lost interest. I tried again. Okay, I said maybe I'm just too tired. On a day I woke up, I said this is let me even see what I couldn't finish because time is precious. I can't waste my time watching this. I'm sorry. They should look into it very well. They're doing well. The likes of Jagu, Woman King, that one I can watch 10 times. But this one I can't even finish the film. That is just my comment. Just look at it and try and do something better. It's not there. I'm on Netflix. There's money to throw around. Throw the money in the right direction. Like somebody said, was there Irabor? If you're a screenwriter, stay with screenwriting. If you are acting, you can't do everything. In Nigeria that we have jack of all trades, master of none, and they believe they've arrived. The American movie, they will say a screenwriter will never do directing. So I guess that's where the problem is. There was no proper division of the labor. Maybe somebody tried to say everything. For me, it was a turn off.
Thank you for sharing. Have a lovely morning. Okay. Calls go to 0201-448-9981. Again, 0201-448-9981. Let's do some messages on WhatsApp. Mishori says, the Internet Movie Database rated Lisa B to 9.2 over 10, one of the highest ratings in Nollywood history from the #1 global movie rating site. I am a trained cinematographer. I know a good movie when I see one. Let's criticize objectively. I'll quickly do a call. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and location? Please turn down the volume of that radio set.
Okay, good morning. Am I audible now?
Yes, you are. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, okay. So
your name and location, please.
And it has a lot of flaws, no doubt about that. But I want just when your guests are giving feedback, they should stop using what like nonsense angry. Nobody for anybody to watch movies. You understand? Give feedback. You understand? So your nonsense, they are angry. That this movie, they've done their job. It's also give feedback. And that's the job. Thank you.
All right, thank you
very
much.
Enough. Good point. Noted. And apologies, and apologies by the way. Yes, it's right. I'm not sure if it's fair to use words like nonsense, but sometimes we're just angry. So
okay.
Apologies.
Let's finish the messages and then we can take you, Irabor. I see that you are brimming with whatever it is you want to get off your chest. Moving over to Oluwaseun. You said, good morning, lady and gentlemen in the studio. I haven't seen Lisa B yet, but I eventually watched Shanty Town. Great cinematography. The lighting was perfect, except for the blue rim lights. Why did every indoor scene have these blue lights? I had to look at the name of the cinematographer and it was a foreigner, I think. But the story was just there. I had no idea who the twin and mother who escaped at the beginning were. I was wondering if it was the Nancy Isime character or someone else. Who the Iniedo character really is and what is really driving her, the answers to these questions weren't answered until the last episode or penultimate episode. Continuity was another issue. Characters who we have no idea what's driving them or who they really are. Another great thing about the acting of Chidi Mokeme, he should have won a Best Actor award for this performance. And when are we really going to let go of using jazz charms in our films? Why do we really have to portray these things in films? I get these things happen, but how many Nigerians have seen someone repel a bullet using jazz or charm, or someone hacked with an axe or cutlass, and if their charms repelled it? Okay, Angel says, "Good morning, Smooth Crew. I just joined and was fortunate enough to catch the uncomplimentary review of Jagun. Actually, that was Lisa B. Thanks for keeping it honest. It spared me from being a victim and adding to the numbers undeservedly." I wouldn't say that, Angel, but what do you want to say? Irabor, please go ahead. And we've got just 1 minute for this part because there are a number of things we need to touch.
All right, yeah. I mean, Oris can apologize. I can understand where it's coming from. But at some point in time, certain harshness has to be induced, in criticizing films just to wake up the industry. So in this case, I won't apologize because it was indeed nonsense. It was indeed rubbish. I mean, with the way they executed and implemented, everything about that film, I still gave it good reviews when I mentioned the part about Didimeji and the cinematography with the blood, water, and everything. So now here's the thing. The thing that is killing us as a country is the acceptance of mediocrity, especially when we have the resources and the wherewithal to execute certain things. So that acceptance, they try, we have tried, No. If, for example, the movie Yahoo Plus on the Red Pill, when we talked about it, if anybody cared to listen, I said, these people, they did their best with what they were given. Now, if it was a Mo Abudu or somebody who executed it like that, my review would be different. So I'm not trying to come on here to be harsh or anything. I am more than fair when I'm talking about movies. I mean, I defend Nollywood with my chest when I'm outside, inside, anywhere. But when I see a movie with the right funding, because obviously they won't even give us the numbers. They hate putting out numbers. But with the right funding, the right people, the people who call themselves pioneers in the industry, people who feel that they are the number one stakeholders in the industry, and they put out movies like Chief Daddy 2 or this type of movie, Lisa B or anything, I will call them out. And even if they don't change or whatever, it's my opinion, I will call them out. They did a piss poor execution of this movie, Lisa B. I was utterly disappointed. And they still have a part 2 coming. Wow.
Okay. Thank you for your comments. And Isaac on WhatsApp says, like Irabor said, the scene with Oshokeno and Lishabi happens to be the best in the movie. But what surprises me was when he called his kin folks to the forest and none of them was scared or even surprised to see the Lishabi that way. Maybe.
Somebody that can catch 5 different types of wizards and this is like, let's go and steal 1 billion. What are we doing?
I can't hear a ball. Please, we should give him my.
Just maybe you're going to see that in the part 2. I mean, let's give another benefit of the doubt, but I totally understand because.
Sorry, again, can't we just finish one film? Let's do one film once.
Yes, but you have to understand, Irabor, this issue is actually, I suspect it's not really the producer's fault, or maybe it's only partly their fault. Netflix wants those hours clocked on the platform, and that is why they insist on all of this ridiculousness, frankly.
Then make sure you use the same budget or break the budget and do multiple films. It doesn't.
No,
see,
yes,
you know what?
You're entirely correct. But yeah, the problem is, yes, we have, I don't know, terrible producers, frankly. I think they just want to keep the money for themselves while they put whatever is just, I don't know, mediocre on the screen. But sorry, I think we are going on and on about this terrible film. We should do something else. Let's focus on something good. You did see the AMA nominations.
Of course, that was actually supposed to take a huge chunk of the conversation today. Unfortunately, Irabor wouldn't let us be great. But anyways, we hope that things get better. And actually, I don't know if you gentlemen saw the trailers of some movies that will be out later. For instance, Hijack 93. Did you see the trailer?
I saw it,
You're
and I am disappointed. Well, I don't know. No, no.
in advance. Wow.
Yes, it is a terrible trailer. It is a
Okay.
terrible trailer.
It's because of things like this I've stopped watching trailers. So let's even see that movie that you said, When Love Strikes. You know when you mentioned,
Yes.
guy, I don't know what is going on with Anthill these days. There are movies that they've been releasing of late, and that film could have been a solid film. Sorry, I'm going around in circles. They need to wake up. They need to stop doing all these things that they're doing. When Love Strikes, Anthill Studios. That's what they decided to bring as a film. Oh, God.
Thank you. All right.
So the hijack trailer. I just feel like it lacks a certain level of magic and thrill in the trailer already. And I am thinking to myself that, okay, this I suspect will also happen with the film itself. And to me, that's a problem. Also, I have noticed a few people who know about the military say that the details of the military in that particular trailer are poor, that they have failed to do the research right, which for me is not a big problem if the story is tight. But looking at the trailer itself, I suspect that we are in for another disappointment.
That will be out later in the month, specifically 25th of October on the Red app. So again, fingers crossed on that one. And maybe when we eventually see it, we are going to know what to
It's not maybe,
see.
definitely. We'll be here to talk about this. There's no maybe, definitely.
I mean, so I deliberately kept quiet about Lichawi because I have not finished seeing it. And I'm just going to keep my cool. So Ziki, or Isaac rather, says, Irabor, I totally support what you just said about criticizing our movies. After all, they can say the same about Rotten Tomato critics. All right, moving on. Let's quickly go over to Ghana, where I don't know if I should say he's the rave of the moment in Africa, but Idris Elba is Ghana's Africa Cinema Summit headliner. And go ahead.
No. Of course, I'm just saying that. Of course, it looks like Elba. Idris Elba is in every bit of
the motherland.
I don't know if it's the motherland. You remember that there was a time when Akon, to call somebody Irabor mentioned earlier, was all in his business with Africa, by the way. And then I heard recently that is it Uganda or is it Tanzania, one of those countries anyway, is pretty much threatening him that, hey, come and develop the land we gave you, otherwise we take it away from you. So in a way, these guys from the diaspora, they've seen that Africa, of course, we're always very eager when people succeed in the West and they come back home. But the problem is that not every time do they have our best interests at heart. I'm hoping that Idris Elba is different, but already from him taking the role of Okonkwo, people are very, 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 very pissed.
Very angry.
Very angry. So he's also outlining this stuff in Ghana, and I'm wondering to myself that if they see this man, anyway, it's not Lagos. Because if it was Lagos, people would throw tomatoes at his face. But so yes, deliberately... if it works out well, because the stuff in Ghana is supposed to be like a sort of film conference. I just hope that it means that we get a level playing ground if we get projects that involve the West and Africa. What happens now is that they almost take 90% of the resources over there, and we only get like 10, even if it's supposed to be something that we are, I guess, decent at. So yeah, Idris Elba is is the new Akon. Let's just see how it pans out over the next few years.
So I specifically said motherland because that's usually the word they throw around whenever they're coming to do one thing, or when they are milking Africa or enjoying the support of Africa. That's when they remember the motherland. And it's quite interesting the way they say it. Robert, do you have anything to say?
Plenty.
Please keep it short.
I have plenty to say. See, first of all, this whole victim and savior mentality that we have, I don't know where it came from. I don't know how it's going to change. We need to work on it because that's the same thing you said, Oris. They don't have our best interest at all. Because if Idris Elba and David Oyelowo and all of them had the best interest, I feel that I would even opened up that role to somebody else and try to prop up somebody enough to take them to Hollywood. Instead of coming to come and take, why not carry the person there and position them for something good? Do you understand? Like that whole, my uncle is living in Lagos. I went to go and see him in Lagos then, and now blew that kind of scenario. But again, it is what it is. But I have nothing else to say. I just hope that we can decide to use our own resources to create our own thing and stop all this Western person.
Exactly.
The monies that we have in Nigeria to set up, look at National Stadium, Surulere, that is just there. Why can't you convert that place to Film Village? Then use Teslim as the stadium. Why do we have two stadia opposite each other? There's so much you can do. We have the money. Come on now. Why are we doing like this? Oh God. I think
Irabor. Somebody please get Irabor a cup of cold water or whatever he likes to drink this morning. What happened to you, Irabor? Did you get enough sleep? Wow. Okay, you got too much sleep. Well, if you are pissed about people coming to save us, then wait until you hear the update about a Congo documentary receiving funding from Europe. And not just that, it looks like there is now a United Nations General Assembly set up fund for African film, and they set aside $40 million for that to support content out of Africa.
That's another. Okay. No, Irabor, please go.
Okay, so if you look at the National Assembly budget now, for example, or our entire budget, especially the budget that the House of Rep members and all these people are using, you want to tell me that we can't get $40 million from there? We have misappropriations everywhere. So all this one that this person gave us 40, what is like really what is 40 million? Look at all the resources that we have. You want to tell me that $40 million is something that we should not be glorifying? Come on now, 40 million. How much is $40 million? Really? It's just sad that our mentality and our mindset for all these things, like collect, borrow. You don't want to develop yourself. You don't want to develop yourself. Why?
Oris?
Yeah, I want to say that the $40 million is, again, not an African thing, by the way. Two people in the diaspora have come together and say, you know what, they've received funding from, I think, from all of the foundations, Bill Gates, this one, that one, all of them. And they say, hey, let's put it into content here. But I suspect, again, that a lot of this money is going to go to diaspora people. Like I suspect that not a lot of it will show up over here. So in a way, we are still in the same position we were, I don't know, beginning of the year. What needs to happen is what Irabor said. We have money here. Can we find people who can do decent stuff? Because that's my other worry. That because the money we have here, people are mismanaging it, doing things like Lishabi. So there's a sense in which that nobody will be inclined to put in more money because we have not shown that what we make here can decently travel and bring in money back to the investors. And the other way around, that this is why we should talk about AMA, by the way. But maybe, is that something we can talk about?
Not today. We
not
can't.
Today.
We'll do that next week because we're out of time. But speaking of Lishabi, though, now I'm not going to go about what is wrong. One thing that had me thinking, and I think this is why we need more of history. This is why we need more of storytelling that takes us back to history. I don't know if it was just me, but I was looking at that scene where people were being used as target practice for the gun that was brought to them by the people. And I just remember the darkness, the evil. I mean, exchanging humans for guns and umbrellas. It was just really crazy. And in that moment, I realized we actually need more history. We need to tell stories more in a better way. Yes, definitely. And it also speaks to political issues or things that have been recycled over the years. So if you think evil started now and you look at some political leaders, you can be sure that from back in the days, the heart of men has always been wicked and just black. So I'm all for us telling more stories, but in an excellent way, definitely. Angel on WhatsApp says, candor equals Irabor. Truly keeping it real. Honesty is very refreshing. Well done. Different strokes for different folks. Gentlemen, we need to wrap it up in the words of Lai, but without the N word. So on a final note, what are you dropping? What should people go and watch?
Yeah, nobody knows this. Apparently, the truth.
People want the truth. Oh, okay, sorry. Oris can't hear you.
I mean, Oris, nobody wants this now. That's what I'm watching. I mean, that's
yes, definitely. Yes, nobody wants this. Which I mean, it's sweet, and I just wonder why something that's sweet and I don't know relatable, why we can't produce it. But let's not get into the problem of Nigeria and Hollywood anyway. So yeah, nobody wants this. It's definitely something to see. The Amas, the biggest nomination, the film with the biggest nomination this year is
The Weekend.
Yes, which showed up at the cinemas a while ago and is no longer there. I wish we could see that.
which is
Yeah.
also out of the cinemas, by the way. Didn't even last up to
Yes.
1
Yeah,
month.
that's weird.
Yes.
And I'm
Yeah.
wondering
But
why.
that's another story. We should talk about maybe another time. We can also get the
Next
director,
week,
by the way.
Friday.
Yeah, maybe you can actually get the director here. But anyway, so that's a thing. I wish he was there because I would like to see it. I didn't even see it because it was such a 3D 3D in the cinemas. But so nobody wants this. I need to say a Nigerian film, but I can't think of anyone. So I'll just add the one I said earlier, the British what's it called now? Show Baby Reindeer. So Baby Reindeer, nobody wants this. British and American, very, very excellent shows. And if you want to cleanse your mouth from the awfulness that was Lishabi, you should probably see any of those two.
On the contrary, I think you should see Lisa B so that you can give us your own take and see if you agree with Oris and Irabor or not. So you should add that to your watch list.
Wait, let's not act like we didn't have two people say they've seen it and say they didn't like it. The guy who called, I think second guy who called said he pretty much agreed with Irabor, right?
Yeah, and another person said it was a good one. So, life really, different strokes for different folks.
He said that person is wrong. I'm sorry, I love you, but you're wrong.
According to your metrics. But anyways, thank you, gentlemen. Always good to have you with all the energy and the testosterone. Irabor, thank you for your time. And next week we'll go again from 11 till 11:55 right here on Smooth 98.1. You can catch them on social media. You can catch Oris, right, on Instagram.
Yes. Catch your Instagram, yeah.
And Irabor keeps it 100 on Instagram, Irabor 100. That's how you can find him on Instagram. Thank you, Lagos. Thank you, Nigeria. Thank you, world, for being a part of the show for today. Now, in minutes' time, we'll be doing great African music on the Casbah. That's how we do it every weekday. But we have a special on Fridays, and you should stay tuned to find out. I'm going to give you something from Empire Cast, and this is Good Enough. Y'all just came with all the fire and
boy, yes, when it's terrible, we need to. Is Irabor still there?
Oh, he went out. I think he had to just breathe in for something and he's gone out. By the way, can you get Daniel?
I can, yeah, it's a person now, he's a friend of mine. So I can ask him.